Yeah, what's good? What's going on, man? It's your boy Acito, man. Salute to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for checking this blog out here. I go by the name of Acito, man. This is Dedication TV. Yo, I'm gonna do a quick little breakdown, and a little prediction blog per se of the Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight going down this Saturday. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I've been trying to find out where I'm gonna watch this fight. In so many places, man. We got lounges to places like Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm just giving y'all a couple ideas. You know, if you near a big casino, like if you in the Connecticut area, the New York area, places like Foxwoods, Mohegan, MGM, pretty sure places like that will be showing the fight as well. For me per se, I got actually two invites. I got Dave and Buster's, because that's a place that I've been to a couple times to watch fights, and I've actually enjoyed it. You know, take a little break while they got the little, lead up fights going on. You go play some games, drink, whatever the case may be, get some food, they come right back to it. So you got Dave and Buster's, Buffalo Wild Wings, like I said, Hooters, and then you got your local sports bars. And another place too as well that's kind of popular is the sports betting restaurants, per se. Those places as well. But, if you're looking for a spot, you just want to chill, have some good food, good drinks, one particular place, if you're kind of looking for a more upscale type of vibe, 14th and Park, that's if you in the metropolitan DMV area. Very upscale, grown and sexy. The customer service, hospitality is A+. I've been there a couple times. But that's just, a couple places, I just wanted to throw out there just for y'all. But like I said, I got invited to a skate rink party. They gonna be showing the joint over there. So, I'm gonna swing over there. Then I got David Busters, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a couple more invites, you know what I'm saying, as the week gets closer and closer. But man, we gotta talk about this, man. This is a battle rap channel. We talk about music as well, but I had to talk about this. And we're going to talk about the NBA too, man, because the NBA is crazy right now too. Like, the NBA is crazy. But we're going to talk about that on a different joint. But, yeah, man, like, I took some notes, man, because I had to, man. I had to. But just off the top of my head, right? So we're looking at Ryan Garcia, right? I have not seen as many fights from him. When I went back and I did, do my research and watch a couple of his fights, I like his style of fighting. Him and Davis, they kind of similar in my opinion. They're not really big on defense per se. They more so, they trying to take your head off. Consistent with the jab. I like Garcia's hook. He has a really nice hook. He has really a good height advantage. His reach is really long. So, and for me, he does it exceptional well with selling the fight as well. A lot of times, and this is no slight, sometimes when you get certain boxers, not even like per se the guys that's been doing this shit for years, it takes so many hits to the head, they can't really articulate themselves properly. They talk real slow, or they talk too fast, or, so when I sit down and I watch interviews from Ryan Garcia, he really articulates himself very, very well. And that's a big part for me, as a boxing fan, because I really enjoy the lead ups. And that's one of the things that I love about boxing. It's like when they do the behind the scenes, and, they go watch, the camps, and them just leading up, all the determination that they put in, the sacrifices, them being away from their families, them being on strict diets, the sacrifice of, not going out and clubbing and doing all the other bullshit. You focus on the fight. And that's something that I'm pretty sure a lot of fighters learn from Mayweather as well. But I was very intrigued, man. I was very intrigued with what I saw, man. Like, a lot of his fights, man, TKOs, man. He getting them out of there, whether it's the first round or it's like by the middle of the fifth or sixth round, he getting them out of here. He's undefeated as well, if I'm not mistaken. His only toughest fight that I saw personally, and I wrote it down, it was the Luke Campbell fight. Now, I saw that fight and I was like, damn, he got dropped. You know what I'm saying? I believe that was the only time he's ever been knocked down, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I didn't watch every single fight that he has. He has a little bit more of a stint resume than Gervonta Davis, but he did get knocked down with an open right shot. I believe it was a right jab. And he got knocked down. He got right back up, though. He got right back up. He got knocked down. He got right back up. And, you know what I'm saying? I think it kind of let him know, like, oh, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he got back busy, and he pretty much dominated the rest of the fight. And I believe he got the technical knockout in the 7th round, if I'm not mistaken, the 6th or 7th round. But, yeah, man, like that. From the fights that I saw, like the couple fights that I did watch, like let me see, I watched his Francisco fight. He knocked that nigga out in the first round. Romero, he knocked him out first round. So that's a lot of his joints was the first round. I think the fight with Emmanuel, that went the distance. That went 12 rounds. So I mean, a lot of his fights is quick. They're not really too long. Like he doesn't have too many fights where they're going the actual distance. But as far as like experience, man, like, oh, and a fun fact too, like I literally just saw this. He sparred with Devin. He sparred with Devin in the amateur fight. I believe it took place in 2015 or 2014. But there's footage going around. If you want to YouTube it, you know what I mean, just look it up. It's a couple rounds on there. But you know, they were sparring, and he had that height advantage back then, you know. And you know, he seemed like he was dominating them. You know, he was dominating them. You know, it wasn't too aggressive or anything of that nature. But you know, he has a very deep resume. Very experienced. But I think it is the right fight, and it's the right test for both, for Davis and for Garcia. You know, let's talk about Davis. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore, you know what I'm saying, representative. Davis as well is undefeated. You know, and I've personally watched a couple of his fights as well. I've been to one of his live fights out here in Baltimore. But he's pretty much dominated almost every single fight that he's had. Like he like if I could remember off the top of my head, the toughest fight he had, I want to say it was Isaiah or Isaac Cruz. Pardon me, I keep forgetting the name. I should have wrote it down. I know it was Cruz. That was his toughest fight. Went the distance. He had a couple times in that fight where he seemed like he was in trouble. Like you know, it got a little shaky in there, man. Like, hey, that was the toughest fight I think I've seen from him. But majority of Davis's fights, he's just dominated. You know, he simply is dominated. You know, 3-time weight division champ. You know, and actually 3-time division champion in 3 different weight classes. Pardon me. You know, what else he has? He's also held 5 world titles. 5 world titles, bro. And he's young. He's still in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still in his 20s. You know, he was mentored by Floyd Mayweather. You know, he left Floyd Mayweather to, you know, start his own thing. You know, he's been in the news, you know, for a couple of, you know, bullshit, but for the most part, like, the thing that I love about Davis is he's very strict when it comes to boxing. Like, that man don't play around. Like, you know, it's sad because I remember it was a point in time where AB was like, him and AB were like neck and neck as far as popularity and talent wise. You know, AB had just a little bit more experience, a little bit more fights, but Davis was coming up, and AB took a lot of his blessings for granted. And I will say this, you know, even though Davis, he's still young, I think he still has a lot to learn. I believe he is learning. But when it comes to boxing, he does not joke around with that. You know, I watched numerous of his trainings, and, you know, people that he sparred with. He does a tremendous job, man. And he's built a reputation for himself where he don't play, bro. He hits hard. You know, ask a lot of his opponents. He hits hard, man. Like when he fought Leo Cruz, like he won the belt with him, he dominated that fight. When he fought Romero, the Spanish dude that was talking crazy, he sold the hell out of that fight. I thought that fight was gonna go the distance. He knocked him out like the 4th, 5th round. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just think the nostalgia around this fight is major. It's major. You know, we haven't really had too many crazy big lead up fights. And if I'm not mistaken too, like, let me check my notes. I think Garcia's last fight was in April of 2022, and yeah, and Davis's last fight was in May of 2022. So these guys haven't fought in a while. You know, they haven't fought in a while, so they come around. It's come around a year per se. Like, yeah, it's been about a year since they fought. Um, it's the perfect timing, man. It's the perfect timing, man. The weather's beautiful outside. You know, we're not in COVID restrictions, so people gonna be throwing the watch parties. Like, I think it's gonna be a really dope fight, man. And me personally, I had mixed reviews if this fight was going to go the distance. I don't think this fight is going to go the distance. I'm gonna tell you why. Because remember earlier I said Davis and Garcia have similarities, in my opinion, when they fight. They both like to leave themselves open, and I feel like that's a dangerous thing. Now it's really going to boil down to who's going to hit harder. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they're gonna be brawling. Like, they're gonna be brawling in there. They're gonna be trying to throw crazy fucking haymakers in there. They're gonna be trying to test who has the hardest strength. But my thing is this: like, I think it's gonna be a thing where I think Davis is gonna go to the body a little bit early. I think by like the mid round, depending on if Garcia is tagging him and he's hitting him, and from what I hear, Garcia hits hard. But if he's able to capitalize early in those rounds and do damage and make Davis switch up the strategy if he goes to the body, I don't know. It could go the distance. But if Davis is hitting that body and wearing that man down, I think he could catch him with one of those uppercuts and knock his ass out. And I think in the 6th, 7th round. So I got this fight going 6, 7 rounds. I got Davis with the knockout. But I do think it's gonna be a very entertaining, high level fight, man. And I tell you this, man, if this is a big win for Garcia, if he beats Tank Davis, Tank Davis is undefeated. So if you're the one to knock him out, the popularity and the bragging rights is tremendous. And I saw they was on the Twitch guy, I forgot his name. They was on his Instagram live. And they got an actual bet, like a bag of money, like a big bag of money, on this fight. But you look at somebody like Davis, right? You know, Davis, you know, if he clears Garcia, which I think, I honestly believe a lot of people have him, they probably think he's going to clear him. But if he does, that's more bragging rights for him, and he could really continue that coast, you know, to head towards that Mayweather. You know, the greatest of all time. You know, if he keeps going in there, if he does what I'm very confident in his trainer as well. They gonna get the job done, man. You know, I think I'm gonna put some money up on this fight here. That it's gonna go about probably 6, 7 rounds, knockout by Davis. But I'm telling you, I would not be surprised, man. I would not be surprised if Garcia wins this fight as well. I don't think it's gonna be clear. I don't think it's going to be clear. Based on what I've seen from Garcia, it's not going to be clear at all. You know, and he's a very confident and smart fighter. He is smart. But like I said, they both have a problem with leaving themselves open. They don't really like, they're not defensive fighters. You know, they're more so we want to fight, you know, per se. But yeah, man, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a good one, man. We haven't had like a high level boxing match in a while, man. So this is summertime coming up. You know, we in the spring, but the weather is beautiful out here in the DMV area. So like I said, man, check out those particular places, man. You know, check your local, you know, restaurants, sports bars, your Dave and Buster's, Hooters, Buffalo Wild Wings. If you near a big casino, check out the casinos as well, man. You know. But let me know in the comment section, man, how y'all feel, man. Who do you guys think is going to take this, man? Let me know. If y'all want to bet, holler at me on Instagram or holler at me on Twitter at AcesWorking, and we could talk some numbers, man. We could talk, you know what I'm saying? We could talk. I appreciate everybody, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the love. Salute.